Valerie here from Very Vegan Val. Today we are going to make a green tea udon noodle soup bowl. It is quick, it is easy, it is nutritious, and it is slightly caffeinated, so it'll get you going and continuing through the afternoon. It is the perfect lunch to make. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so to get started, we're just going to get our pot heated up, and then we're going to add about a tablespoon of vegetable oil to our pot. That looks about right. Perfect. And just let that heat a little bit. So the wonderful thing about this meal is that it's actually it's basically like making tea. We are going to cook our broth, and then we're just going to add raw vegetables in with it, and we'll create a full and complete meal. Of course, actually we have to cook the noodles in the broth, but that's not a problem. Alright. So as you can see, our oil is starting to heat up a little bit. So what I have here is about 3 cloves of garlic, and then maybe like half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of ginger, all finely minced. So we're just going to add that in. Alright, perfect. So we have our garlic and our ginger cooking here. And we're just going to saute it until it is nice and fragrant. It's about 2 minutes or so, and then it will be perfect. So our garlic and our ginger is cooking away, and it's starting to smell delicious. The next thing we're going to do is just add water. So we are going to add, let's see, 4-ish cups of water. Perfect. So we have our 4 cups of water, and then we're just going to cover it and let it come to a boil. So our water has reached a boil, so now we're actually going to just turn it off. And I have here 4 tea bags. These are just regular green tea. And we are going to slip them right in our broth. And just let it sit. And so we're going to let this steep like this. You can leave it on, turn the heat off, but you could just leave it on the burner and let it steep for at least 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. So our broth has been steeping for about 4 minutes now, so I'm just going to turn the heat back on, and then we're going to take out the tea bags. Alright, and then we're just going to bring our liquid back up to a boil, which will not take as long this time, as it's pretty close to it already. I have 4 ounces of the noodles here, and most of them are made just with flour and water, so they're vegan, they're simple. Occasionally, you might find some that have egg in them. As always, make sure you read your ingredients. So again, yeah, I have 4 ounces of these noodles, and we're just gonna stick them right into our broth. Wonderful. Bam. And then, use the spatula just to break up the bigger chunks. And so then you can just cover this again while it cooks. They only need to cook for maybe about 4 minutes once the water gets boiling again. So my noodles are almost ready. The last thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit of soy sauce to our tea. And this will really help to bring out the umami flavors, and of course add a little bit of saltiness. So let's see what 1 tablespoon looks like. So there we go. The other thing mind is if you steep your green tea too long and you're not liking how it tastes, it can get a little bit strong and bitter. And if you do that, you can always just add more water and that will dilute the tea and it will bring it back to a more pleasant place. But I think with the 3 tea bags and the 3 to 5 minute steep, you should be okay. All right, so let's see how we're at now. Delicious. All right, so now we're just gonna turn off the heat and we're going to step away from the stove. All right, so now it's time to assemble our bowl. We're going to start with this lovely spinach I have here. And the reason we're starting with the spinach is we're going to try and get it covered with the broth, which will actually work to just cook down our spinach. So just, you know, grab a little handful. And you can use whatever vegetables you have around. They will all work lovely, as long as it's something that you like raw. And we're just going to cut it up a little bit, put it in there, and then start by adding the broth on top. Well, let's see. I myself am sort of a broth person, so I always add a lot of broth. But, you know, dealer's choice, as much or as little as you like, perfect broth. And then we're going to get some of those noodles in here as well. Yum, yum, yum. Perfect. All right, and now we're going to move on to the other vegetables. And this is like really whatever you like to do. So I'm going to start with some red peppers. And then I have a whole bunch of tofu here, so let's get some of that in here. Perfect. Next, let's go with some cilantro. Let's put these radish sprouts on it. I have these radish sprouts. They're beautiful. They're just like regular, like bean sprouts you would get in the store, but these are made by sprouting radish seeds. So I'm just gonna pop them in here. Perfect. They're actually a little bit spicy, unlike regular sprouts, which is just delicious. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Oh, beautiful. All right, then we have jalapeno. Again, of course, this is spicy, and if you don't like spiciness, maybe omit these. Then scallions, which I think are incredibly essential to a good bowl of udon soup. They add that nice little onion flavor. So I like to be generous with these. And I'm gonna add a little bit of sesame oil. This will give it a great sesame flavor, but it is quite strong, so yeah, be careful with it. Perfect. All right, and then finally, we're just gonna add a little bit of good old salt and pepper. So, salt and some pepper, and we're done. Bon appetit. That's delicious. All right, so it's nice, it's dark, it's umami, it's caffeinated, it's everything you could ever want for a lunch. Because I like caffeine in my lunch, I don't know about you. All right, so if you liked this video, please make sure to subscribe using the button below, and of course give us a thumbs up. It is the first one where I've actually shown my face on camera. So hopefully, hopefully you like it, and I will have more videos coming soon. Thanks, bye.